6 government-documented dreams that came true. What if I told you the British government once had a secret department that collected people's dreams, and some of those dreams predicted real disasters before they happened? This isn't science fiction. This is the Premonitions Bureau, a real government operation that documented the impossible, and what they found will mess with your head. 6 dreams, 6 disasters, all documented, all real, all absolutely terrifying. 1967. Dr. John Barker, a psychiatrist, convinces the British government to do something unprecedented. Start officially logging people's premonitions. The Premonitions Bureau collected 723 predictions over 2 years. Most were garbage, random nonsense from people who watched too much news. But 18 came true. And here's where it gets weird. 2 people, Alan Hensher and Kathleen Middleton, accounted for 12 of those hits. 2 ordinary people, having dreams that somehow mapped perfectly onto future disasters. Let me show you the 6 that will keep you awake tonight. October 11th, 1967. Alan Hensher calls the Bureau with a warning, main line rail crash coming. People will die. November 1st. Kathleen Middleton writes in her diary, I see a crash. Maybe on a railway. The words Charing Cross keep coming to me. November 5th, 1967. The Hastings to Charing Cross Express derails at Hither Green. 49 people dead. 78 injured. Exactly what they saw in their dreams weeks before. Now here's what'll really mess you up. Both dreamers had never been to that station. Neither had any connection to that rail line. They just knew. The government documented everything. Time-stamped. Verified. Filed away in cabinets that still exist today. But if you think a train crash was impressive, wait until you hear about the astronaut who died in space. April 23rd, 1967. Kathleen Middleton has a nightmare about an astronaut bound for the moon. She writes, he looks petrified. This trip will end in tragedy. The next day, Soviet cosmonaut Vladimir Komarov dies when Soyuz 1 crashes back to Earth. Here's the kicker. The Soviet Union kept this mission completely secret. Western media didn't know about it until after the crash. So how did Middleton dream about a space tragedy 24 hours before the world even knew there was a space mission? The government couldn't explain it. March 11th, 1968. Middleton wakes up screaming about an assassination. 4 days later, she writes, I cannot disconnect this from Robert Kennedy. She keeps having the dreams. April. May. The warnings get more specific, more urgent. June 4th, 1968. Middleton makes 3 separate calls to the Bureau. Someone's going to be killed. It's happening now. Just after midnight, June 5th, Robert Kennedy is shot in Los Angeles. Dies the next day. The government had her warnings on file. Time-stamped, documented. Filed away like a shopping list. Except it was predicting one of the most shocking assassinations in American history. By now you're thinking, maybe these are just lucky guesses. Well, let me tell you about the plane crash that made government officials genuinely scared. Alan Hensher dreams of planes falling from the sky. Not just any crash. He sees over 120 fatalities in a major air disaster. Days later, a Bristol Britannia crashes near Nicosia, Cyprus. Body count? Mid-120s? Exactly what he saw. The Bureau staff are starting to realize this isn't coincidence anymore. But here's where this story gets absolutely chilling. Multiple dreamers, especially Hensher, start having visions about Dr. Barker himself. They see his sudden illness, his death. August 18th, 1968. Dr. John Barker, the founder of the Premonitions Bureau, dies suddenly of a brain hemorrhage. He was 44 years old. The dreamers had predicted their own investigator's death. The government file contains the warnings. But to understand why this bureau even existed, we need to go back to the disaster that started it all. Aberfan, October 21st, 1966. A coal tip collapses in Wales, engulfing a primary school. 144 people die, 116 of them children. But here's what shook Dr. Barker to his core. Dozens of people had contacted newspapers claiming they'd dreamed about this exact disaster before it happened. One woman dreamed of children screaming and a black mountain moving. A man saw a school buried under something black. Multiple people woke up terrified days before Aberfan happened. Barker realized If these dreams were real, if people could actually see disasters coming, then maybe some could be prevented. That's why he created the Premonitions Bureau. The tragedy that killed 116 children became the foundation for documenting the impossible. After Barker's death, the Bureau collected over 3,000 more reports before quietly shutting down. Most files remain classified. So next time you have a vivid disaster dream, maybe write it down. History shows that a few, just a few, end up uncomfortably close to tomorrow. Sweet dreams.